True. But at the same time, if you see, as we are democratizing, I think everybody has become the best content writer. Maybe everybody has become written the most professional email writer, right? So everybody is becoming an artist. So isn't it not flattening the curve then? And because see, I have observed this when it comes to the recruitment industry, where everybody is able to make the best resume using AI, and then that resume is being read by a robot, which what it is seeing is that very similar kind of distribution. So where does this end up then? I mean, will it actually lead to some advantage, or because you see everybody is becoming everything?
So that's a very good point, Amit. So what happens is, like the best copywriters are people who use generative models such as ChatGPT to give them a draft, but
Hmm,
then they add their human touch onto that. Because
hmm,
if you and also how to use these tools,
hmm,
what
hmm, hmm,
to expect from it, what to give as input, how
hmm,
to change the output are again
hmm, hmm, hmm,
skills
hmm.
that these better copywriters have. I mean, even today, there are these copywriters who would command a premium over others, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
content that everyone generates is
Hmm,
not same. So
hmm.
there is still a distinction between people who are willing to put their skills into what is being generated by, say, these models.
So you're actually then sort of you say now you're creating a much disproportionate difference in that case, I believe, where you are able to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are people who are not using, so there are amazing copywriters who may not be using GenAI
Mm,
tools and they will
mm,
continue to do well, but it is just that the amount of output that they're producing would be
mm,
much lesser than a very good copywriter who's
mm,
using ChatGPT,
mm,
because they would be able to maintain that quality bar,
mm.
their core, value, which is excellence, but still generate a lot more content than they were able to just by themselves.
True. Mm, got it.
Similarly with code. So what
Yeah.
we see is, like ChatGPT will give you a snippet of code, or your Copilot or your Code Llama will
Right.
give you a code. But then how to prompt it to give you that kind of code is firstly important.
Mm,
Secondly, these systems are built of these snippets of code. So you cannot expect these generators to currently give you anything more than, say, 100 lines of code, 200 lines of code at one go. But the
mm,
systems that we work with are, 10,000 lines of code, 100,000 lines of code. So it is still up to the designer, the engineer to envision this large
mm,
scale system and
mm,
then break it into parts and then plug these parts in using tools available,
mm.
and then thus get his, dream into reality quicker than earlier.
So are we saying
So
that
that's how I see the world changing.
so the way you see is that you use this to redefine the way you build applications? Is it that uh,
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. So it's completely changed how we, uh, work with tools. Probably knowing the nuances of a programming language initially is not as important,
Hmm.
and you are able to jump into new things way quicker than earlier.